Hey everyone, this is Dale with All Inclusive Reviews. If you just finished watching our full resort video on the gorgeous Secrets Playa Blanca, you already know we absolutely loved this place. One of the highlights for us was definitely the suites. We gave you a brief overview of the rooms in the full resort video, but in this one, we're going deeper and showing you more of the details that actually matter when you're trying to decide which room to book. So in this video, we'll be covering 3 room categories in one: the basic junior suite, the preferred club junior suite, and the preferred club swim out. Now, before we step into the room itself, we need to clear up a couple of things that confuse a lot of people when they're booking here. First, let's talk about the difference between ocean view and ocean front. This trips people up all the time because ocean view sounds like you're going to walk out onto your balcony and have this big, beautiful, unobstructed ocean scene right in front of you. And sometimes that may happen, but oftentimes, ocean view means you technically have a view of the ocean if you peek through some trees, lean over at the right angle, and the branches happen to move out of the way. So yes, it may be an ocean view, but maybe not the kind of ocean view you were picturing in your head when you booked this room. Now, ocean front is a different story. Ocean front is the premium version. These rooms are front-facing, and they give you the best possible view of the ocean. They're also some of the most desirable rooms on the property, and with that usually comes a higher price. So, what's the compromise if ocean front is more than you want to spend? Well, one option is booking the ocean view room as a preferred club category. Preferred club rooms are generally in more desirable locations and often on higher floors. So while it still doesn't guarantee a perfectly unobstructed ocean view, it definitely increases your chances of getting a better one. And depending on occupancy during your stay, you may have a little more flexibility if you need to request a different room. So, the bottom line is this: if you want to absolutely guarantee that full, clean ocean view, book ocean front. If you're trying to find a middle ground, preferred club ocean view may be the more realistic play. The next thing to clear up is preferred club itself, and whether it's actually worth paying extra for. Preferred Club gives you some genuinely nice perks. When you arrive, you'll be taken to the Preferred Club check-in area, so you can avoid standing around with all the lowly non-Preferred Club people. Kidding. I'm completely kidding here, everybody. But there are some real benefits. You get access to a private lounge, a private beach area, a private beach bar, an exclusive infinity pool, upgraded minibar, upgraded bath amenities, butler service during the day, a pillow and aromatherapy menu, and preferred club suites are in premium locations. There's also exclusive a la carte breakfast at Oceana and access to afternoon hors d'oeuvres, desserts, and fine liquors in the preferred club lounge. So there are definitely some nice extras built into it. Now, whether all of that is worth the extra cost is really going to depend on your budget and the type of traveler you are. We did not stay as preferred club guests during our visit, and honestly, we still had an incredible time. So I don't come away from this trip thinking preferred club is necessary, but I do think it can make sense for the right person. If you've stayed as a preferred club guest, would you please drop your thoughts in the comments below for other travelers? All right, now let's step into the room itself. The moment you walk in, it immediately feels like a special place. The design is warm, clean, and really intentional. As you enter the room, the bed is straight in front of you, so you instantly get that centered visual of the sleeping area. Directly behind you is where the closet is, and right away, the whole layout of the room just makes sense. Nothing feels cramped, and nothing feels like it was shoved somewhere as an afterthought. Inside the closet, you've got a nice amount of practical storage. There are robes, slippers, an umbrella in case of rain, an ironing board and iron, extra pillows, and a safe. And the safe is actually big enough to hold important items like passports, cash, valuables, and even a 16-inch MacBook Pro, which is always something I noticed because some in-room safes are just barely useful. Directly below the safe is the secrets box. And this is one of those features I always appreciate, because if you decide to order room service, it can be delivered into that box from the outside of the room. So nobody has to actually come into your room. And when you're done eating, you can place your dirty dishes in there instead of setting them out in the hallway. And that's a very good thing, because the last thing you want is to turn the hallway into an all-you-can-eat buffet for critters overnight. Now, if you need more hangers than what they provide, you can request them through the Hyatt Inclusive Collection app, which we already covered in our full resort video. As you move farther into the room, directly under the TV, there's a 6-drawer dresser with plenty of room for your folded clothes. On one side, below the countertop, there's a cabinet that holds the ice bucket, along with coffee cups and drinking glasses. On the other side is the minibar, stocked with beer, bottled water, and soft drinks. The minibar can be replenished daily, and you can request the assortment of beverages you want. Sitting on the countertop below the TV is the Nespresso machine with coffee and teapods. That setup is convenient if you like having coffee in the room first thing in the morning. Or, of course, you could always make a run to Coco Cafe. And if you know, you know. The bed itself was extremely comfortable, and we slept really well in this room. That may sound like a simple thing, but it matters. And not every beautiful resort room actually delivers on comfort once you try to sleep in it. This one did. At the foot of the bed, there's a bench. It looks nice, it's practical, but depending on which side of the bed you sleep on, it could also become what I refer to as a death trap or toe stubbing device in the middle of the night. Thankfully, on this trip, I was on the side of the bed closest to the bathroom, so I managed to avoid any late-night collisions. Now let's talk about the nightstands and power setup, because this is one of those practical details that I know you care about. At the bedside, you've got one standard power outlet and 2 USB ports. One is a USB-A and the other USB-C, which is great because now you don't have to play the fun vacation game of figuring out who gets to charge their phone first. There's also a cluster of light switches, which means you do get to enjoy a little round of light switch roulette, trying to figure out which switch controls which light. One side of the bed also has a JBL Bluetooth speaker with clock. The other side has the room phone and the thermostat. And above the bed, on each side, there's an adjustable reading light. We also really loved the woven pendant lamp hanging down on each side of the bed. They give off a warm, comfortable glow and add a lot to the overall feel of the room. Between the bed and the sliding balcony doors, there's a couch and coffee table. It's a nice little seating area and a genuinely useful one. Across from that is a small round table with 2 chairs, which works really well if you want to eat room service in a more civilized way. Because yes, you could eat in bed, but then you're just one tiny croissant flake away from sleeping in crumbs. And I'm just not interested in that kind of chaos. And here's a little pro tip. Especially if you're traveling during the more humid months. This is something that we always do, actually regardless of the time of year. We bring a couple of damp rid bags with us. We'll hang one in the closet with our clothes and leave the other one hanging out in the room. It actually makes a very noticeable difference. The room feels less humid, helps everything stay dry, and it even makes the room feel a little bit cooler overall. It's a small thing, but it goes a long way over your full stay. Now let's move over to the bathroom, because this is one of the strongest parts of the room. We've been fortunate enough to stay at a lot of resorts over the years, and I would put this bathroom at the very top of the list. It is wide open, spacious, practical, and just really well done. You've got double vanities, each with its own round mirror, And on both outer sides, there are shelving sections where you can store all your toiletries and personal items. There are also power outlets on both sides of the vanity, and that matters more than you might think. Between the two sink basins, they provide some pharmacopoeia lotion, bar soap, and a small variety of toiletries in case you forgot something at home. Off to one side, there's also an adjustable lighted makeup mirror, which is another thoughtful touch. And on the shelf below the vanities, you'll find towels, the hairdryer in a bag, and of course, a scale. I choose to believe that it's there to weigh your luggage, and not to expose the consequences of unlimited desserts. Along the back wall is the private toilet, tucked behind a frosted glass door, so that part at least gives you some privacy. The shower, however, is fully clear glass. This shower is fantastic. It has both a rainfall shower head and a handheld, and one of the best things is that you can actually run both at the same time. That might sound oddly specific, but at some resorts you can only choose one or the other, and I always find that annoying. There's also a tiled bench, which is great for practical use. And inside the shower, they provide pharmacopoeia body wash, shampoo, and conditioner. There's also a rubber shower mat rolled up in the corner, which is great if you're clumsy like me and would rather not test your balance on wet tile while on vacation. And they even added a clothesline in the shower so you can hang wet swimsuits and hopefully have them dry overnight. And then there's the tub. This tub is in every room, which is impressive on its own. And it is huge, large enough in fact for two. Don't ask me how I know. Now, as much as we loved this room, there were two things we could nitpick. The first is the TV. It's mounted flat against the wall and does not have an articulating arm. So, if you travel with an Apple TV or some other streaming device like we do, we could not find any practical way to access an HDMI port. The TV does have Netflix and YouTube apps built in, and one nice feature is that when you check out, it automatically logs you out of your accounts, so the next guest can't access them. That part is great, but I still wish the TV could pull away from the wall or let you cast from your phone. So this is absolutely just a first world complaint, but it's one of the few real nitpicks that we had. The second is privacy. The sliding door between the bedroom and the bathroom is a slatted door in the king bedrooms, and you can absolutely see through those slats. So if you're traveling as a couple, maybe that's not a big deal. But if you're traveling with a friend or somebody's ordering room service and you're moving around in the bathroom area, that setup could get awkward pretty quick. Now, if you book a room with two double beds, that sliding door is solid, which makes a lot more sense from a privacy standpoint. Now, let's head out through the sliding doors, because this is where the three room categories really begin to separate from each other. Inside, the rooms are all essentially the same. There's the same general layout, same bathroom setup, same overall design, etc. Now, Preferred Club gets you some upgraded minibar items and some extra category perks, but the major differences happen outside. In the standard junior suite, the balcony setup is simple, but very nice. You've got a little couch on one side, padded chair on the other, and a small round table in the middle. It's really a pleasant setup for morning coffee, reading, or just sitting outside and listening to the tropical birds beginning their day. If you move up to the Preferred Club Junior Suite, your balcony changes a bit. First, you're likely in a better room location and often on a higher floor, so your view has a better chance of being stronger. But the headline feature out here is the soaking tub on the balcony. On one side, you still have that padded couch and a couple of small round tables. On the other side is the large outdoor soaking tub. And yes, it is designed for two. Now, I cannot confirm that personally, but visually, yes, it looks like the tub understood the assignment. One thing to know though, it takes a while to fill, so this is not a spontaneous, let's hop in the tub for 2 minutes type of situation. This is a plan ahead kind of tub. And finally, the swim out. These are all located on the first floor of each building, and they can be booked as both a preferred club or non-preferred club. The general concept is great. You open your sliding door, walk out onto your patio, and step directly into a semi-private pool. And I say semi-private because all the lower level rooms of your building share the same water. So it's not your own private pool, but it is much more peaceful and tucked away than the main pools. The non-preferred club swimouts tend to sit farther back and usually get less sun because of the trees and surrounding vegetation. Preferred club swimouts are generally in better locations and typically get more sun. So if direct sun matters to you, that's worth thinking about. The swim-out patio itself has a padded couch along one side, a single padded chair, a small round table, and one comfy lounge chair. And I'll be honest, that immediately made me wonder whether you can request a second lounge chair. Because if there are two of you staying in the room, having only one chair seems a little odd. It feels like one person gets to relax while the other gets the thrilling experience of watching them relax. So if you've stayed in one of these rooms and successfully requested a second lounge chair, that would actually be useful information to put down in the comments. So when you really break it down, all three room types have the same interior layout. The real differences are whether you have the soaking tub on your balcony, whether your room placement is better, and whether you can step straight out onto your patio and into the swimming pool. And that's really the booking decision. If you just want a beautiful, comfortable, practical room with a great layout, the standard room absolutely works. If you want better room placement and the balcony tub, preferred club becomes more appealing. And if your priority is convenience, quieter lounging, and direct pool access, the swim out is where things get really tempting. At the end of the day, all of these rooms are beautiful, comfortable, and most importantly, they are practical. And that matters because pretty rooms are easy to find in marketing photos. A room that actually functions well once you're living in it for several days is a different story. And these rooms deliver. We hope this gives you a better idea of what to expect when booking at Secrets Playa Blanca. That's the entire reason we created this channel in the first place, to take the guesswork out of deciding on your next getaway. Years ago, when we were planning trips for our large family, we always wished there were more videos that showed the details people actually wanted to know. So now we try to make the videos we wish we had back then. And if you've stayed at Secrets Playa Blanca and have any tips, tricks, or room recommendations, drop them in the comments so other travelers can benefit too. And finally, if you're one of the brave few who actually made it all the way to the end, type this in the comments. Dear Secrets, we need a privacy upgrade on those sliding doors. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you at the next resort.